not going to have enough fuel. The estimated strength of field is 1,970. Pit road's closed. Good fellas, remember like I said, it's going to be a little chilly today, so you guys that are going over the wall, make sure you're staying limbered up. Keep the blood flowing there. We don't want you guys getting cold and hurting yourselves.
All right, gentlemen, we'll have 2 to green here.
Bud.
Just a couple of cars. They're already relatively back there anyway, so they'll work themselves out, and then we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I'm already last car.
I'll just dead against the wall, 75.
We have 3 sets of tires. We are going to roll.
Good luck, team. Good luck.
Good luck.
One. Two.
Get behind the 70.
Andy, I watched
All
the
right, you're gonna have to
broadcast
come around
back.
to
I can't
75.
believe how well you pushed me the other night with all the nose damage your car had.
Yeah, I don't even know where I got that. It was I had it when I went into one of the pits, and it told me I had like 30 seconds of damage. I don't even know where I got it.
Yeah, that was impressive.
75, I gotta let you back.
Does Spellenbaum's car look
Radio
like
check. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3,
different,
4.
like it's
Can you hear me?
light or something?
Radio check.
Yeah,
Earl, can you hear me?
It does look like that to
Yes,
me, too.
sir. One
like
to go.
Like there's some kind of masking on it that makes it look chalky or something.
Okay, I noticed that last race or something and seen that.
It doesn't look good, I can tell you
All
that.
right, man. Let's get ready. Let's go get this thing. Do this. All right, man. Pace cars off. Have a great day. Green, green, green.
3.
Outside.
4.
Still out there, man. Still there. Quarter outside. Clear.
Lap time 24.480. P17. Laps of fuel 174. On lap 2 of 180. Lap time 16.015. P17. Laps of fuel 178. On lap 3 of 180.
P2 is the fastest car on the track.
Lap time 16.065. P17. Laps of fuel 183. On lap 4 of 180.
Damn dog, that was a good lap right
Lap
there.
time 15.846. P17. Laps of fuel 182. On lap 5 of 180.
There you go, buddy. That was a good lap.
Lap time 15.779. P17. Laps of fuel 180. On lap 6 of 180.
Fast guys are running 15.377. Hell yeah, good lap.
Lap time
P12 is the fastest car on the
15.689.
track.
P17.
15.292.
Laps of fuel 179. On lap 7 of 180.
That lap was
Lap
better.
time
Good job.
15.638. P17. Laps of fuel 178. On lap 8 of 180. Lap time 15.692. P17. Laps of fuel 177. On lap 9 of 180. Lap time 15.710. P17. Laps of fuel 176. On lap 10 of 180.
Great lap.
Lap time 15.590. P17. Laps of fuel 173. On lap 11 of 180.
Good, man. That's what you've been searching for.
Lap time 15.517. P17. Laps of fuel 172. On lap
Fast
12
guys
of
are running
180.
15.574.
Lap time 15.750. P17. Laps of fuel 171. On lap 13 of 180. Lap time 15.656. P17. Laps of fuel 169. On lap 14 of 180. Lap time 15.678. P17. Laps of fuel 168. On lap 15 of 180. Lap time 15.821. P17. Laps of fuel 167. On lap 16 of 180. Lap time 15.866. P17.
Still out there.
Laps of fuel 166.
Still outside on your quarter.
On lap 17 of 180.
Still outside.
Lap time
Clear high, clear
15.963.
high.
P16. Laps of fuel 166. On lap 18 of 180.
Leaders at a 15.659.
Lap time 15.909. P16. Laps of fuel 165. On lap 19 of 180. Lap time 16.036. P16. Laps of fuel 164. On lap 20 of 180. Lap time 15.836. P16. Laps of fuel 163.
Outside.
On lap 21 of 180.
Still outside. Clear.
Lap
Good
time
job.
15.611. P15. Laps of fuel 162. On lap 22 of 180.
No, I'm sorry there.
Spinning,
good,
spinning,
that's,
spinning. No caution, no caution.
Lap time 15.947. P15. Laps of fuel 160. On lap 23 of 180.
Thanks, man.
Working the bottom inside. Still inside.
Lap time 16.050.
Still on your inside. Clear.
Laps of fuel
Leaders are running
160.
15.617.
On lap 24 of 180. Lap time 16.292. P13. Laps of fuel 159. On lap 25 of 180. Lap time 15.844. P13. Laps of fuel 158. On lap 26 of 180. Lap time 15.748. P13. Laps of fuel 156. On lap 27 of 180. Lap time 15.685. P13. Laps of fuel 155. On lap 28 of 180. Lap time 15.676. P13. Laps of fuel 154. On lap 29 of 180. Lap time 15.809. P13. Laps of fuel 152. On lap 30 of 180. Lap time 15.842. P13. Laps of fuel 151. On lap 31 of 180. Lap time 15.900. P13. Laps of fuel 150. On lap 32 of 180. Lap time 15.970. P13. Laps of fuel 149. On lap 33 of 180. Lap time 15.879. P13. Laps of fuel 148. On lap 34 of 180. Lap time 15.871. P13. Laps of fuel 147. On lap 35 of 180.
Caution. I don't know where your mic is, but we do have a little bit of trouble hearing you. On
Lap
your green
time
light conditions, so if you could
15.865.
push it
Inside on the
that'd
back
be awesome.
P13.
It's open. No,
Laps
close,
of
close.
fuel
Come around the
147.
safety car.
On lap 36
Pit
of
road will be
180.
open this time. They could be lining up behind the 57.
4,
Pace car, turn 3.
Lap time 18.429.
3,
P13. Laps of fuel 146. On lap 37 of 180.
Yeah.
457. 300. 200. 100.
1,
0.
Go. Hard. Good stop, guys.
2,
Lap time 45.379. P15. Laps of fuel 164. On lap 38 of 180.
three,
Should be starting behind the 18.
I got a peek at the top 10 straighter and then I wrecked myself.
Oh. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I got a little brake heavy.
Lap time 33.401.
Breaks
Two.
one of those.
P13. Laps of fuel 163.
I don't know, but they're awful biased.
On lap 39 of 180.
Yes, they are.
That's not funny.
Alright, you're gonna have to come around to 75.
It's kind of funny.
I thought it was funny. I'm still laughing.
Yes. Lucky dog, stand low. Let everybody by.
One to go. Obviously, you'll be on the outside here of this restart.
Everything good with the family now, Dave?
You'll be lining up behind the
Yeah,
12.
everything's good, thanks.
All right, man.
Lap time 41.933. P12. Laps of fuel 164. On lap 40 of 180.
Let's get that thing cleaned out real well. Get ready to go green. Pace cars off. Be ready. Be ready. Green flag.
3,
Fast guys are running 47.404. Working the
Lap
bottom.
time 40.068.
Go there. Clear low.
P11. Laps of fuel 163. On lap 41 of 180. Lap time 17.302. P12. Laps of fuel 162. On lap 42 of 180. Lap time 15.828. P12. Laps of fuel 161. On lap 43 of 180. Lap time 15.625. P12. Laps of fuel 160. On lap 44 of 180.
Sorry about that, Dave. I'm not sure I could have taken a much worse line there in that
Lap
corner.
time
Still
15.823.
outside. Outside is
P12.
clear.
Laps of
Working
fuel
outside.
I've got a bit
159.
older tires, so I'm not pushing it.
On
Still there
lap
on your
45
quarter
of
outside.
180.
Clear. He's there outside. Fast guys running 15.532.
Lap time
Still there.
16.415.
Still out there.
P13. Laps of fuel 158. On lap
outside.
46 of 180.
Clear high, working the outside.
Lap time 15.991.
My
P14.
spotter said, which lane are you in,
Laps
Victor?
of
I
Still
just,
fuel
outside.
158.
Clear.
On lap 47 of 180.
Sorry, Mark, I'm trapped back there.
Lap time 16.284. P15. Laps of fuel 157. On lap 48 of 180. Lap time 15.720.
Oh,
P12.
P15.
Here's the fastest car on the track.
Laps of fuel 156.
7.
On lap 49 of 180. Lap time 15.800. P14. Laps of fuel 155.
Slow car on the
On
bottom.
lap 50 of 180. Lap time 15.810. P13. Laps of fuel 154.
Fish and Andy, I tried that lane. It doesn't work.
On lap 51 of 180.
yeah, we both went around.
Yeah.
Leaders are running 15.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
I was actually
Lap
really
time
liking it down there. I just got a little
16.009.
feel overzealous last time about that time.
P13.
The Legends Oval
Laps
doesn't
of
work
fuel
here.
153. On lap 52 of 180.
As always,
Lap
screwing up
time
my own race.
15.916. P13. Laps of fuel 152. On lap 53 of
Outside.
180.
Still outside. Clear.
Lap time 16.165.
John, I'm not really in
P14.
a hurry. I've been riding.
Laps of fuel 151. On lap 54 of 180.
No shame here.
Lap time 15.986.
Yeah.
P14.
I get too much damage. I'm
Laps of
done.
fuel 150.
Yeah.
Oh,
On lap 55 of 180.
I had a good car. It was fast too tonight.
yeah,
Damn.
you are. Sorry, man.
Lap time
No, if it wasn't for bad luck,
16.004.
I wouldn't have any luck.
P14. Laps of fuel 149. On lap 56 of 180.
Well, if you're there on Sunday, Texas is much bigger, so that'll help.
Lap time 16.094. P14.
It's almost
Laps
like
of
let's
fuel
move to Texas because everything's
148.
bigger in Texas.
On lap 57
Even
of
bad luck.
180.
Fast guys running 15.726.
Did she
Lap
laugh?
time 16.218.
Yeah, she's like, well,
P14.
it's not going to help.
Laps of fuel 147. On lap 58 of 180. Lap time 15.892. P14. Laps of fuel 146. On lap 59 of 180. Lap time 15.934. P14. Laps of fuel 145. On lap 60 of 180. Lap time 15.896. P14. Laps of fuel 144. On lap 61 of 180. Lap time 16.279.
I think
P14.
Philibom's trying to do it without stopping.
Laps of fuel 143. On lap 62 of 180.
No, I was wondering, because I feel like we're faster than him.
Lap time
Caution somewhere,
16.137.
Let's get to that.
Throughout the course of that last
P14.
run, did you see any rubber
Laps
laying
of
down
fuel
at all?
142.
Guys,
Good stuff,
get some
Clay.
On lap
rags,
63
get
of
ready to clean this mess
180.
up here. Coming into the box is the part that I'm mainly concerned about.
3,
Closed. Pit road's closed.
car in 3.
Pit road is open.
Hey, Terrence, how much?
Lap time 19.506.
We're going to
P13.
restart behind the
Laps of
57.
fuel 143. On lap 64 of 180.
Going to line up behind the 57. You'll be lining up behind the 70.
Did you get hit, Bates?
Lap time 30.770. P10. Laps of fuel 142.
Yeah.
On lap 65 of 180.
Not bad, is it? Hopefully.
I'm done.
No.
$419. 300. 200.
You gonna top off, John?
100. 0.
I'll take a tire. Shit, the whole thing.
Man, I got loose coming out of the corner and then
Go, 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 go.
2,
Bristol, you know.
Gotcha.
Lap time
Were you top or bottom
59.380.
lane when you got loose?
P16.
All right, buddy, we only
Laps
got
of
one
fuel
more
190.
that we can use.
Turned it
On
back
lap
right.
I could be
66
lining
of
up behind the
180.
75.
Yeah, that was totally me, Chris. It's my fault, man. Sorry about that.
4,
Yeah, the problem is I only got one set of tires left, so we'll see.
3,
Man, no, it's all good. It's just
2,
Bristol.
They coming to the green right now, Earl?
Yeah, I didn't realize I came up near that much, but...
Earl, are they coming to the green this time? Yes, they're on one to go.
Coming out of
We line up on the outside.
Lap time 34.376. P14. Laps of fuel 190.
still starting in the restart
On lap 67 of 180.
Yes, sir. You look good up there in first, Trace.
Thanks.
All right, kick some ass out there, boss.
You got your brother behind you. What more could go wrong?
Boss man, go do your thing. Green.
Is it true? Yes. Show on the side there.
Meters are running 47.474. Inside, inside. Clear low.
Lap time
I'm sorry.
38.762. P14. Laps of fuel 189. On lap 68 of 180. Lap time 17.221. P15. Laps of fuel 187. On lap 69 of 180. Lap time 16.128. P15. Laps of fuel 186. On lap 70 of 180.
Uh-oh.
Outside.
Lap time 16.099.
Still outside.
P15.
Clear.
Laps of fuel 185. On lap 71 of 180. Lap time 16.062. P14. Laps of fuel 184. On lap 72 of 180.
I did not like that guy saying neck code.
Meters are running 15.793.
Lap time 15.740.
Yep, I agree with that. We
P14.
netcode's never an excuse.
Laps of fuel
Netcode is always,
183.
you know,
On lap 73 of
netcode determines where it
180.
thinks you're gonna be, so that never saves you from doing something wrong, you know.
Lap time 15.676. P14. Laps of fuel 182. On lap 74 of 180. Lap time 15.778. P14. Laps of fuel 181. On lap 75 of 180.
Position.
Yeah, and you never know if there's something quick
Lap
here.
time
and another 2 or 3 drop out,
15.739.
That'll be another couple positions.
P14. Laps of fuel 180.
Just to help.
On lap 76 of 180. Lap time 15.755. P14.
Because I was
Laps of fuel 179. On lap 77 of 180.
Outside.
Lap time 15.834.
Clear.
P14. Laps of fuel 178. On lap 78 of 180.
Your fast guys are running 15.798.
Lap time 15.870. P13. Laps of fuel 177. On lap 79 of 180. Lap time 15.869. P13. Laps of fuel 176. On lap 80 of 180.
In front of you, throwing on
Lap
the
time
outside.
15.701.
Inside.
P13.
Clear low.
Laps of fuel 175. On lap 81 of 180.
I bought that caught me by surprise.
Lap time
Feel good, man. Nothing
16.126.
coming out the back.
P11.
The interval is 1.
Laps of fuel 174.
2 cars
On lap
facing each
82
other,
of
traffic against the
180.
wall. I thought that would be a caution for sure.
Lap time 15.571. P11. Laps of fuel 173.
I think there's 2 more
On lap
positions, though,
83
for
of
you.
180.
18 down low.
Sit back, get that
Lap
rhythm.
time 15.731. P10. Laps of fuel
Him and Clay were
171.
up on the outside wall.
On lap
Bill Martin
84
was
of
wrecked on the inside wall.
180.
That looked pretty hard.
Fast guys running 15.599.
It happens.
Lap time 15.741.
Yeah,
P10.
Clay and Jonathan were
Laps of
facing
fuel
each other on the
170.
outside wall.
On lap
Like,
85
They
of
were pitching against the wall, but they
180.
were facing each other.
Is Bill still with us?
Lap time
Cars parked there.
15.768. P10.
That has the signs of
Laps of
technology
fuel
issues, the way it shot
169.
left like that.
On
Yeah,
lap
it's just sitting
86
there
of
now.
180.
Right.
Go
Lap time
over and tap 'em, see if he's
15.643.
still there.
P10. Laps of fuel 168.
I mean, you're
On
5
lap
laps down. You
87
oughta do
of
it.
180.
True.
If Higgy was here, he would do it.
Lap time 15.975.
I haven't seen him in a
Yeah, where's
long
he been?
Laps of fuel 167.
I don't
On lap 88 of 180.
By hanging out with Dean.
Lap time 15.747. P10. Laps of fuel 166.
Wheel just
On lap 89 of 180.
no longer connected.
Yeah, we were wondering because that's what it looked like. Technology issue.
Lap time 15.786.
Either that or we thought you
P10.
fell asleep.
Laps of fuel 165. On lap 90 of
We're
180.
halfway in the race. Leaders are running 15.413.
Lap time 15.871. P10. Laps of fuel 164. On lap 91 of 180. Lap time 15.839. P10.
I got a whacked out toe.
Laps of fuel 162.
Ooh, you should see a podiatrist.
On lap 92 of 180.
Yeah, the way it hit there, I figured you probably got a little bit of that.
Lap time 15.943. P10. Laps of fuel 161. On lap 93 of 180.
Yep. Yeah, they got it in the main.
Lap time 15.942. P10. Laps of fuel 160. On lap 94 of 180. Lap time 15.804. P10. Laps of fuel 159. On lap 95 of 180. Lap time 15.733.
I'm wondering if he was getting
P10.
tight, if he's paying net
Laps of
code,
fuel
and the net code got he
158.
washed up into.
On lap 96 of 180.
Fastest guys on the track are running 15.5.
On mine, it wasn't that code at all.
Lap time 15.907. P10. Laps of fuel 157. On lap 97 of 180. Lap time 16.043. P10. Laps of fuel 156. On lap 98 of 180. Lap time 16.065. P10. Laps of fuel 155. On lap 99 of 180. Lap time 15.969. P10. Laps of fuel 154. On lap 100 of 180. Lap time 15.788. P10. Laps of fuel 152. On lap 101 of 180.
Oh, good, Roger. I won't pick you on lap 100.
Lap time 15.897. P10. Laps of fuel 151.
That's fine. You do
On
you.
lap 102 of 180.
6. Your fast guys are running 15.9.
Lap time 15.764. P10. Laps of fuel 150. On lap 103 of 180. Lap
Staying
time
low for you guys.
15.975.
Thanks, Victor.
P10. Laps of fuel 149. On lap 104 of 180. Lap time 15.902. P10. Laps of fuel 148. On lap 105 of 180. Lap time 16.000. P10. Laps of fuel 147. On lap 106 of 180. Lap time 16.046. P10. Laps of fuel 146. On lap 107 of 180.
No pressure out the back. The gap is
Facing leader
6.3.
4 seconds back.
Lap time 15.977. P10. Laps of fuel 145.
Leaders are running 15.
On lap 108 of 180.
Yeah, toe's killing my right foot.
Fuck, I
Lap
bet it
time
is.
16.164.
I can hear it.
P10. Laps of fuel
Going wee, all the way
144. On lap 109 of 180. Lap time 15.978. P10. Laps of fuel 143. On lap 110 of 180. Lap time 16.001. P10. Laps of fuel 142. On lap 111 of 180. Lap time 16.162.
Chris.
P10. Laps of fuel 141. On lap 112 of 180.
It says I had 0 damage, like nothing.
Lap time 15.896. P10. Laps of fuel 139. On lap 113 of 180. Lap time 15.801. P10. Laps of fuel 138.
Leaders at a 15.
On lap 114 of 180.
Clear. Good job.
Lap time 16.104. P9. Laps of fuel 137. On lap 115 of 180. Lap time 15.711. P9. Laps of fuel 136. On lap 116 of 180. Lap time 15.933. P9. Laps of fuel 135. On lap 117 of 180. Lap time 15.890. P9. Laps of fuel 134. On lap 118 of 180. Lap time 15.833. P9. Laps of fuel 132. On lap 119 of 180. Lap time 15.851. P9. Laps of fuel 131. On lap 120 of 180. Lap time 15.916. P9. Laps of fuel 130. On lap 121 of 180. Lap time 16.029. P9. Laps of fuel 129. On lap 122 of 180. Lap time 15.943. P9. Laps of fuel 128. On lap 123 of 180. Lap time 15.847. P9. Laps of fuel 127. On lap 124 of 180. Lap time 15.976. P9. Laps of fuel 126. On lap 125 of 180. Lap time 16.011. P9.
Quarter outside.
Laps of fuel
Fast guys are running
125.
15.94.
On lap
Two, still out there.
126 of 180.
Clear outside.
Lap time 16.121. P9.
Outside,
Laps of
still
fuel
there.
123. On lap
Still out there.
127 of 180.
Still out there.
Lap time 16.185. P8.
Still
Laps
out
of
there,
fuel
man.
122.
Outside.
On lap 128
Alright,
of
John, here's the plan. When they
180.
get to you, start dropping Tide Pods.
Outside. Still there.
Lap time 16.273.
Still out there.
P8. Laps of fuel 121.
Still out there.
On lap 129 of 180.
Why is he holding on to his wiener?
Lap time 16.097. P7. Laps of fuel 120. On lap 130 of 180. Lap time 16.060. P7. Laps of fuel
Outside.
119. On lap 131 of 180.
Still out there. Good job, man. Don't change your line. They're going to move.
Lap time
Outside.
16.126.
Your fast guys
Don't worry
are
about me,
running
John.
16.004.
Laps of fuel
You're clear.
118. On
Yeah.
lap
Okay,
132 of
behind.
180.
Making you nervous.
Oh, no.
Lap time 16.156.
Broken car is
P7.
making me nervous.
Laps
Oh,
of fuel
copy.
117. On lap
Outside.
133 of
Clear,
180.
clear.
Feel free to rock on.
Lap time 16.143. P7. Laps of fuel 116. On lap
Roger.
134 of 180.
Outside.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're comfortable with.
You're clear if you need it.
Stay high for
Leader
you.
is the next
Lap
car
time
back. Be smooth.
16.184.
Outside.
P7. Laps
Can't
of
tell
fuel
yet.
114.
Clear.
You
Outside.
On lap
Outside.
135 of
No, I didn't even pit
Outside.
when you guys did, so my
Clear,
tires
heated.
are really old.
Oh, I got my toes out of whack.
Lap
so my
time
right front's completely gone.
16.246. P7. Laps of
Yeah,
fuel
but 60% of your
113.
ability is better than 100%
On lap
of mine.
136 of 180.
Nah,
Bit of an
Inside.
exaggeration there,
Inside.
Victor.
quite a bit of an
Still
exaggeration.
inside.
Lap time 16.245.
Clear low.
P7.
What lane you running,
Laps of
Dwayne?
fuel 112. On lap
Alright, but it don't matter.
137 of 180.
Oh, it matters. I want you to get this 77.
Lap time 16.529.
if you take the
Leader's running
and doesn't drive like a dick,
Laps
we'll
of
let him
fuel
have it.
111. On lap 138 of 180. Lap time 16.163. P8. Laps of fuel 110. On lap 139 of 180. Lap
stay high
time
for you, David.
16.231.
I know you got fresh tires.
P8. Laps of fuel 109.
Just run left.
On lap 140 of 180.
Enjoy a faster lap than me.
Appreciate it.
Lap time 16.392. P8. Laps of fuel 108. On lap 141 of 180. Lap time 16.184. P8. Laps of fuel 107. On lap 142 of 180.
I'm not trying to be a past victor.
Lap time 16.225.
No, you're good.
P8. Laps of fuel 106. On lap 143 of 180.
Man, you should pick
Lap
the
time
fast.
16.325.
Fast guys are running
P8.
16.3.
Laps of
Five
fuel
over 9.
105. On lap
I don't know why he's got a racing
144 of
so hard.
180.
Go the lap down. He wore his shit out.
Wish I could get around you
Lap
faster
time
so that I wasn't bothering you, but I
16.237.
can't pull
Still at
the
the top
momentum
10,
on the
just
bottom
let
off
Laps
the
of
him
corner
fuel
exit.
104.
You are not bothering me at all.
On
I was
lap
just going to ask if you had any great
145 of
coupon.
180.
Not with me, no.
He let all those other
I
guys.
can toss you an
come
Lap
energy
around.
time
drink, though.
16.461. P8.
You toss me right.
Laps of fuel 103. On lap
I need one of them, too.
146 of 180. Lap time 16.452. P8. Laps of fuel 102. On lap 147 of 180. Lap time 16.567.
Outside.
P8.
Clear.
Laps of fuel 101.
Outside.
On lap 148 of
Still there.
180.
Can't tell yet. Clear high.
Lap time 16.451. P7. Laps of fuel 100. On lap 149 of 180. Lap time 16.314.
So you know,
P7.
fast guys are running 16.4.
Laps of fuel 99.
9.
On lap 150 of 180. Lap time 16.218. P7. Laps of fuel 98. On lap 151 of 180.
Go ahead, Mark. I'm not racing these guys. You might be.
Lap time
I'm not racing anybody up there,
16.216.
actually. I'm just running laps.
P7. Laps of fuel 96. On lap 152 of 180.
Very good job. Nothing out back. The interval is 1.3.
Lap time 16.256. P7. Laps of fuel 95. On lap 153 of 180. Lap time 16.250. P7. Laps of fuel 94. On lap 154 of 180. Lap time 16.222. P7. Laps of fuel 93. On lap 155 of 180. Lap time 16.167.
Leaders are running
P7.
16.3.
Laps of fuel 92. On lap 156 of 180.
Inside. Clear him.
Lap time 16.269. P7. Laps of fuel 91. On lap 157 of 180. Lap time 16.419. P7. Laps of fuel 90. On lap 158 of 180.
Hi, Victor.
Hello again.
Lap time 16.232. P7. Laps of fuel 89. On lap 159 of 180. Lap time 16.283. P7. Laps of fuel 88. On lap 160 of 180. Lap time 16.321. P7. Laps of fuel 87. On lap 161 of 180.
Sit, man. Stay up on him. He'll move.
Lap time 16.291.
16.199.
Laps of fuel 86. On lap 162 of 180. Lap time 16.253. P7. Laps of fuel 84. On lap 163 of 180. Lap time 16.239. P7. Laps of fuel 83. On lap 164 of 180. Lap time 16.290.
I was hoping to get that top 10 guy, but I knew I
P7.
couldn't beat you off for 18 laps.
Laps of fuel 82. On lap 165 of 180.
Sorry.
No need to be sorry.
Lap time 16.258. P7.
Only takes one lap,
Laps
right,
of
Victor?
fuel 81.
That's right.
On lap 166 of 180. Lap time 16.255. P7.
Still outside on your quarter.
Laps of fuel
All
80.
clear.
On lap 167
Outside.
of 180.
Still outside. Outside clear.
Lane used
Outside.
Lap time
Clear outside.
16.435.
I was watching
This
the
is not
relative.
safe pass, guys. We're
Laps
at
of fuel
16.3.
79.
For something to happen up
Two.
On lap 168 of 180.
Figured he was playing with his food or something.
Go.
Lap time
Which I don't know why Roger
16.345.
done what he done.
P6. Laps of fuel 78. On lap
Did he stick
169
himself
of
behind the car and then get
180.
past?
He did, and then he kind of stuck it in the wall. So
Lap time 16.274. P6. Laps of fuel 77. On lap 170 of 180.
10 to go.
Lap time 16.263. P6. Laps of fuel 76. On lap 171
Good job,
of
man. Nothing out the back.
180.
The interval is 2.2.
Lap time 16.294. P6. Laps of fuel 75. On lap 172 of 180. Lap time 16.308. P6. Laps of fuel
Take it easy on that
74.
right front.
On lap 173 of 180. Lap time 16.392.
Leaders are running
P6.
16.3.
Laps of fuel 72. On lap 174 of 180. Lap time
Trying like
16.313.
hell to chase down Trace for 10.
P6. Laps of fuel 71. On lap 175 of 180.
1.3.
5 to go this time.
Lap time
Those tires on the back. You're
16.308.
doing a really good job.
P6.
To maintain this
And
position. You're
Laps
doing
of fuel
fine.
70. On lap 176 of 180. Lap time 16.421. P6. Laps of fuel 69. On lap 177 of 180. Lap time 16.427. P6. Laps of fuel 68. On lap 178 of 180. Lap time 16.413. P6. Laps of fuel 67. On lap 179 of 180.
White flag. Nice. Smooth.
Sorry, Roger.
No,
Lap
good
time
job, man.
'Good running, man.
16.430.
Good job through traffic. That was
P6.
super patient. That
Laps
was really
of fuel
good.
64. On lap 2 of 212.
fun to watch.
Good job, Dwayne.
Thanks. I feel
Almost,
bad.
Jerry.
Yeah.
3,
I really think I would have a good
flag
run.
in the hand out here.
I did not know you were up there, buddy. Feel bad about
Two.
that.
Good work,
It
fellas. We
happens,
got that top 10. That's what we wanted to do today.
688, 600, 500, 400, 300,
Take Pat's on my right front.
200, 100.
Fellenbaum, I don't know what
Battle, man.
what kind of thing you were up to, but it worked. Whatever you were doing.
It's second, third just disappear.
I needed that 180 lap run.
Yeah, I figured you were up to that. You can come closer, Dave. I don't know where Roger went. Roger, I went around one more time.
I've never been here before. I don't know what to do.
Oh, you're good right there. We just need Roger.
Yeah. I don't know if he already left.
Nah, he's coming.
Come on, Roger. This ain't your first time.
No, I tracked him.
Actually, I don't see him on the track.
I got down.
Yeah, he's gone.
Damn it.